We're living in a strange time, working for a strange God. We're living in a strange time, we're working for a strange God. We're turning flesh and body into soul.
Hi there, this is Bill Ryan from Project Avalon. And the video you're about to see is an interview with a most remarkable woman who I've come to know recently and has become a close friend. And the subject of the interview is her mission to this planet and the abilities that she possesses, which are extraordinary and significant. And in the 2 hours which follows, she details what she can do, what she has done, the fun and the problems that she experienced when she was a little girl, and what she is doing responsibly with her considerable powers right now. And it's the most extraordinary story that I recommend you listen to right to the end. The reason why I'm giving this little introduction right now is because it's really important to emphasize that the most extraordinary psychic abilities which are recounted in this interview, they are not the gifts of an extraordinarily special person which we can't possibly aspire to. These gifts are innate in all human beings. This is INELIA's message to us. She claims that although she comes from an unusual place, let us say, and this is an unusual mission, it's an unusual lifetime, the gifts that she possesses are human ones. And a message that she wants us all to understand is that these gifts are our birthright, that the controllers of the planet do not want us to know that we have, and they use them, of course, themselves. The other important note to the interview is that magic, for lack of a better word, is interesting and spectacular and has fascinated human beings for generations, for thousands of years, for understandable reasons. It's not an end in itself. It's important to understand that, as INELIA says in her interview, these abilities will be gained as byproducts by anyone who is on a genuine spiritual path. And of course many of the great masters in many traditions will attest to that. They're interesting, but they're not an end in itself, and they're not to be attained as a goal in themselves. That would be a trap. That's a dead end that actually goes nowhere, apart from probably to fulfill the needs of the ego. And as you listen to INELIA telling her story, you will see that there is very, very little ego there. She tells her story in a very matter-of-fact way, that you too can do exactly as she does. You too have these capacities for changing the universe around you. And you too have the capacity, as she says, to create your own timeline. You can create your own future. And between us, taking full responsibility and standing in our own power, we can create the world that we want. Thank you. So this is Bill Ryan from Project Avalon, and it is the 10th of March 2011, and I'm here with INELIA. And INELIA, could you possibly say your most wonderful melodic family name that I'm incapable of pronouncing?
Okay, my full name is INELIA del Pilar Ahumada Aguilar, and I'm also known as INELIA BENZ.
All right. And you were born in Chile, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And then, to cut a very long story short, which is a different story, you left Chile as a refugee.
Right, yes.
And ended up in England, is that correct?
We moved to Nottingham in England, and I kind of grew up there. I was there for quite a few years, And then I moved to Ireland for 9 years, and I went to college in Ireland. And then I went back to Chile for a couple of years as an adult to sort out some family properties and things. Then I went to live in Spain for a few years, and then back to England. And I've been in the United States now for 6 years.
And how is all this possible, given that you look as if you're 22 years old?
Oh, okay. Well, you don't ask a lady her age, so I'm not going to tell you. But I'm not young.
You're not
but thank
young.
you very much.
Okay. So, the reason why I'm talking to you here and would love to see whether we can describe some of the things that you have been doing and being in language so that people can understand it. You, may I say it, are one of the more extraordinary people I've ever met, and I've met quite a few extraordinary people. And from what I can gather, you wouldn't even really describe yourself as a person in a funny kind of way. Now that's going to sound weird to the people watching this.
Right, yes. Yeah, because when I look at a person or I look at people on Earth, normally, and this is not always the case, there would have been a soul or like a spark of divinity entering the time-space line, and it would have gone from complete oneness to a period of maybe thousands, I don't know how many lifetimes, developing into an individual and developing into a sentient being, which is separate from oneness. And this, when I look at people on the planet, this has happened sometimes on planet Earth. A lot of people have done the entire trajectory on the planet Earth. And now we are seeing like thousands, if not millions, of people who have done their trajectories in other planets and now are incarnated on Earth to experience this amazing stuff that's going on right now here. And so I would consider one of these souls that have evolved throughout time and space to become a sentient and evolved being as a person or a being, right? And I wouldn't describe myself as such because I came in directly without any evolution into this state to be able to do a particular job on the planet right now. And once that job is gone, that individuality, that singularity that is this person that you're seeing, we no longer exist. So the concept of a person or a soul is not there.
Okay, so one or two people who followed this may already be doing a double take. You're not only saying that you haven't been here on this planet before, ever incarnated, but you haven't been anywhere in the physical universe ever before, or anywhere in the whole matrix of existence, as it were, before. You are absolutely new here.
Correct, yeah. I entered the time-space matrix, that's, that's a good word, half an hour before I was born.
Right. And you know, this is what you told me when we talked about this off camera, that you will not be incarnating again. You're here on a specific, dare I call it a mission?
Yes, you could call it a
okay.
mission. Yeah.
So you're here to get some things done that need to be done.
Right.
And you have come directly from, here we're struggling with words, you come directly from source, directly from unity, directly here into a human body, and are therefore operating in a very different way than human beings do who have been here for millions of lifetimes.
Yes, yeah. And my entire early trajectory and still going on, something that's still continuing, is learning or being able to function within an individual viewpoint, an individual body, and within time-space in a linear manner, and dealing with that, being able to function within it, because that's where the job is at. So my trajectory has been to learn how to do that, rather than what would